guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Claire and this is Polly Put the Petal On, and today I'm coming to you with a bit of a different video, guys. I'm not very well this week. In fact, I've not been very well for a couple of weeks plus. I've got a UTI and I thought, well, this video is something that I've been wanting to do anyway. It's going to be an easy video for me to do, just sitting here and just talking to you. So that's why I'm doing it today, but I've wanted to do it for a while, and just the other day it was my anniversary, my 5th anniversary from my hysterectomy. It was on the 75th anniversary of the NHS, so it was the 70th anniversary when I had the hysterectomy, and I had a complete hysterectomy, guys. Everything, absolutely everything, uterus, ovaries, everything gone, because I had to have it, everything taken away. I suffered terrible periods. I think I'd been bleeding for about 16 weeks non-stop at the point of my hysterectomy. It was just horrendous, it really was. And so, of course, I was, what would I have been, 48, I think, 47, 48, 48, when I had the hysterectomy. And so, of course, I needed some HRT, and there was no bones about it, guys. I needed the HRT. I'd gone into surgical induced menopause. Plus, it was an early menopause if you go by, statistics and, when women should reach their menopause. So I'm just here to talk about HRT. I'm no expert on the menopause. I can only draw on, on my own experience. But I have tried and tested various different forms of estrogen. Different ways to take it and stuff, and so I just wanna sit down, and if it's going to help somebody, then and help somebody even make a decision as to whether they want the HRT. I've known people that have reached menopause and they have sailed through it. They saw the last period and nothing else after that. There was none of those nasty, because they can be nasty, can't they? The side effects of menopause, they really can be nasty. Depression, anxiety, hair loss, brittle nails. I've had all of this. Loss of libido, lack of sleep. You lose quite a lot when you lose those hormones. Even the aching joints and being able to carry yourself. There's people out there that have sailed through it, but then there's people out there that have literally lost their lives to it. Not because menopause was the cause. Well, I suppose it was the cause, but because they just couldn't cope with it. And so, they've sadly committed suicide, which is horrendous, isn't it? Because it can knock you into the depths of despair. There's no laughing matter about it, really. I mean, the memory loss and things like that, if you've got a minor symptom of memory loss, then you'll have a little giggle about not being able to remember something that's actually on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't reach it in the backs of your brains. So I don't want it all to be deadly serious, this little sit down, but I do want to, I don't know what I want to do, but I I thought I would do this today, and because, like I say, I've wanted to do it for a while. So normally in a normal menopause, menopausal lady, they reach perimenopause and their hormones deplete in a natural way, and it happens gradually, and that's what the perimenopause is. But what happens when when, like me, you've hit that surgical, for whatever reasons, you've had to have everything removed, and you find yourself, whoa, no hormones, you know, nothing going on, nothing going on at all. I was reluctant to take the HRT, and you know, they were giving it to me straight away on the ward, and I said, oh no, I want to see my own GP who had known me for over 30 years, and I thought, he knows me best, he will know and he will guide me, and indeed he did. He's no longer practicing anymore, which is, it's gutted me, but he knew me best and he was able to, and I think he did a good job. The only thing is, I have, to the side of me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of estrogen, different ways of taking it, and you know, but the dose has always been correct, which I think is about 2, is it 2 milligrams or 2 micrograms? 2 milligrams. So yeah, so you know, you in a normal menopausal lady, your estrogen and your progesterone. Now, I can't really talk about progesterone apart from the fact I did ask, why do I only take estrogen and not progesterone? And apparently the progesterone, for ladies that have to take the progesterone, it's literally there to protect the womb. Well, I haven't got a womb. And so I don't need the progesterone, I just need the estrogen. And so, like I say, there's different types and different ways to take. You've got your oral, you've got your transdermal, and you've got your vaginal. So, you know, and I have only just discovered that up until yesterday, because I have this UTI, and before the lab results came back, she dipped it and she said, oh no, you know, she said, I think it's your hormones. Now, I recently had a change from a tablet form to a gel, and I thought, oh, well, maybe that's it. So let's talk HRT. So I have got these four different types. This is what I started off on, was this this patch. Started off on this patch. That's how it comes. You literally just peel it open. Let me get my glasses on. You literally just oh, and in this there was 3.2 milligrams, and this is a transdermal way of taking. Transdermal basically means through the skin, basically. So you've got your transdermal, you've got your oral with your tablets, and you've got your vaginal with your pessaries. Now that's classed as a pessary, but I'll show you that in a minute. So this patch, you know, and you know, there's probably many other patches too. So there was 3.2 milligrams in this, and it delivered 50 micrograms of estradiol in 24 hours. The only thing with this was, the reason why I was changed from this was because I think it was during lockdown, and we couldn't get out of them at all. But of course I needed my HRT. Just couldn't get out of them at all. And so they said, you know, Claire, you're going to have to think of changing to oral. So I thought, well, okay, that's fine. I was a little bit dubious about the oral. In fact, I was dubious all along about the HRT, I'll be honest, because obviously you hear things like breast cancer and... But when I weighed it up, I'm going to say to you now, when I weighed it up, I thought to myself, these symptoms are far... The risk of taking the HRT was less of suffering what I was suffering with the menopause. You know, I'm still suffering, obviously. And I actually blame the menopause for my fibromyalgia too, because you know, it was a couple, would it be, it was, I think it was about a year to 18 months after that I then became very poorly with fibromyalgia. I mean, I blame the menopause for that, I really do. In fact, I know a few menopausal ladies that have been diagnosed recently with fibromyalgia. So, you know, and it doesn't surprise me to, you know, to discover that they are menopausal after that diagnosis. So yeah, if that made sense. So I'm gonna have to put my glasses on because I'm finding it hard to see you today for some reason. So I started off on this. Now there was pros and cons to this, guys. You had to get up in the morning and you slapped it on your backside. It wasn't to go above your waist. For obvious reasons. You don't want it near, you wouldn't put it on your chest because it's near your breast. You would put it on your bum. And you know, you would sometimes find this, it would be stuck to your ankle, stuck to the soles of your feet. You know, it'd be on the carpet, it'd be in the bed. It wasn't foolproof, this, it really wasn't. But I stuck with it, and it curled at the edges, and you always ended up with a patch mark on your bottom as well. So you alternated each day which bum cheek you put it on, basically. Well, that's what I did. And like I say, the reason why I came off this was because it was no longer easily available, you know, readily available. So they switched me on to the oral HRT, which is just a pack, and there was 2 milligrams of estrogen in this, and it was just a pack of tablets with your days of the week on the back, so you knew where you were up to, you knew whether you'd taken it. And that was so easy to do. It was such a breeze to take this in the morning. And yeah, the increase, the risk increased slightly. But the thing for me was, when I've been battling this fibromyalgia, as I've just touched upon, I refuse at times to believe that I have, even now, refuse to believe that I have fibromyalgia. So when I'm in a bad flare, I'm convinced it's something else, and I'm always looking for another answer. You know, I'm in denial. And so one of the times that I was in denial, you know, I said, no, how much of this could be menopause, basically? You know, how much of it could be menopause? And, you know, I'd seen a neurologist, gynecologist. I'd seen quite a few people. So, and eventually, you know, they said, no, it's definitely fibromyalgia. But I said, no. During this time, I said, no, how much of it is menopause? So she said, well, I'll get you an appointment with your gynecologist. I said, am I on the right dose, you know, of the HRT? She said, right, okay. So she got me an appointment with my gynecologist, and, you know, they said, oh, come on in. I said, I don't need an examination. There's nothing there. All I want to do is have a chat with you, basically. So they called me on the phone and we had a really good chat. There was a lot of my symptoms of fibromyalgia that couldn't be related to menopause, you know, the cold hands, for instance, the sensitivity to the cold. There was various things. And so she said to me, but while we're on the subject, she said, I see that you have a heart condition, which I have, genetic heart condition. It killed my sister. And she said, this is no good for you, this oral medication. And I thought, well, I've been on it for a number of years now. And she said, it's no good for you. She said, you need to come off it. So she said, there's an increased risk of heart disease with it. So these are the things that you need to bear in mind, guys, you know, when you, because I mean, at that point, my own GP had left, and so I was seeing locums and all that, and they clearly hadn't considered that I'd got hypertrophic cardiomyopathy and prescribed me with this tablet. I mean, yeah, it was easy to take, but there was that risk, and you know, I do have a strong family history of heart disease. So do consider, if you are considering HRT or anything like that, you need to consider your own health, and do have continuity of care. I would say go to the same GP all the time. You know, I now have for the menopausal stuff, I now have a lady doctor, and she's absolutely lovely, and she is, you know, she's quite tuned into the menopause and stuff, which is great if you can find somebody like that. It really is. And so yeah, so I went to her for this. This is what I'm on now, this Estrogel pump pack, and in this there's 750 micrograms of actuation gel. So I have to pump this. Sorry about that, a little itch. So I have to pump this, 2 pumps on each inner thigh in the morning. I'm going to tell you now, guys, I'm going to tell you the truth. I hate the bloody stuff. I really hate it. It's a pain in the backside, you know, because then you've got to wait for it to dry. You pump it on, you rub it in. I mean, please, if there's anybody else out there that has a different experience to me, you know, because I'm not saying I'm the goddess of menopause, because I'm absolutely not. And I think this would be a good forum for any of us, for all of us, to have a chat and swap, you know, swap recipes, if you like. Yeah, I'm on this and it is the bane of my life. But I suppose the symptoms of the menopause will be even worse. So I go through it every morning. Well, actually, I've tried to switch it to nighttime. You know, there's times when I forget to put it on. It's not as easy as sitting there and popping that tablet, or, you know, or undoing your patch and slapping it on your backside. This is a pain in the backside. So 2 pumps on each inner thigh, and I have to sit there rubbing it in. Then you wash the excess off your hands, and there is a fair amount, I find, as well. So then you have to sit there and wait for that to dry before you can get dressed. So you have to give yourself time in order to apply and to, you know, to make sure that you've got your HRT medication. And again, that's transdermal. So that's your oral. You've got your patch and your pump that's transdermal, and then you've got your vaginal. I have only just been prescribed this one. So I'm just going to take that label off there. So I don't know, can't tell you how this is going to go, but this has been prescribed to me because I have had this change, and obviously you're not getting the full dose of that. You're rubbing it in, and don't forget, I've just told you, you're washing a certain amount off, you know, off your hands. And then your skin's got to soak that in. And then if you have a shower on top of that, which sometimes I do, I've just done that this morning. I put it on first thing this morning, and then I did my exercise, and then I needed a shower. So, you know, I was sure not to scrub where I'd put the gel, but, you know, you never can tell, can you? I honestly think that I'm not getting enough of that. I really do. And so does the doctor. Yes, I've got a UTI, and the symptoms that I described to her, you know, for her to prescribe this to me do coincide with a UTI. But also she said, you know, for ladies, menopausal ladies, sometimes, you know, they need to take a little bit extra. So this is like a little tablet. Now I've not taken this yet. I got it yesterday. I could have took it last night, but the thing was, I then got a text. I picked this up yesterday after speaking to the doctor the day before. I then got a text yesterday evening, 10 to 6, to say, you know, we've sent you a prescription up to the pharmacy because you have indeed got an infection, a UTI. Because initially they said I hadn't got one. It's been going on for 2+ weeks. So this you take, now is it 1? I think it might be 2. Apply 1 every night for 2 weeks. So you apply 1, there's your applicator. So yeah, there's your applicator. Let's have a look, because this is new to me. And like I say, I'm not an expert on menopause or HRT. I can only draw on my own experience. So you put your little tablet, I don't know whether you can see that. You put your little tablet in the head there. obviously draw the applicator back and you insert it inside, and then you push the tablet out with the plunger sort of thing. And they're the tablets. And you to do it at night time, obviously, for obvious reasons, just like I suppose just like a pessary for thrush and stuff. And for the first 2 weeks, you know, and then it gets to working, and then it's twice a week, just twice a week. So again, it's a pain in the bum. You're going to have to remember that twice a week, aren't you? You'd have to set an alarm in your phone. So these two, you know, they're not my favourites. That was so easy, but not good for me because of my heart. And this had its pros and cons, but, you know, it worked. And the only one I haven't tried, and I think that's the only one that's left, is the spray. I might be wrong. If there is any more, please share it with us in the comments, because I'm interested to know. You know, I really am. This is just like a little thing. If it was to help somebody, or even indeed you can help me, that would be fabulous. Because it's no joke, is it, the menopause? It really isn't. You know, I've got a friend of 42 years, and I saw her. I don't see her all the time, but, you know, we always pick up where we left off. It's as if, you know, there's never been any time spent apart. 42 years we've been friends, and she has a beautiful head of jet black hair, and I mean it's a mane and a half. And she messaged me and said, oh, can I have Sharon, my hairdresser? She said, can I have Sharon's number? So I give it to her. She said, oh, I'm getting my hair cut. She said, I'm sick to death of being soaked. My hair's soaked, absolutely soaked to the root. And she's literally just had her hair, she's just cut it all off, just really short. It suits her. She, you know, she's had it short before, and it really does suit her. But God, she's had some beautiful hair cut off there, and it took 2 hours. That's how much hair she had. You know, so that's my point there. If any of us can help each other in doing this, I know it's a bit of a different video for me, but I really wanted to do it, just because I've had these different ways of taking the hormones, and like I say, the only one that I haven't taken is the spray. And she said, my GP said to me, we don't often prescribe this one, and so you're best starting off with a pump. Now, if I say to her, this is an absolute pain in the bum, you know, she said, I can try the spray, and apparently it's something on your wrist. So I wonder whether that might be any better. Has anybody tried the spray? I'd be interested in that, because like I say, that bloody pump gel is, I mean, I don't like gel at the best of times. You know, if you get a gel eye cream or anything, oh, I just can't be doing with it. So that is a pain in the backside. However, having said that, you know, it keeps the nasties at bay, and that's something to consider. You know, my mum, she went through the menopause in a natural way. She tried HRT, couldn't get along with it, and in the end she did oil of evening primrose. Now I take oil of evening primrose, and I have been taking it for 2 months now, because I've literally found a gelatin-free capsule, because it was crippling me to take a capsule with gelatin. But now I've found the gelatin-free capsule, which incidentally, if you're interested, they were at Boots. And you'll see at the bottom, it doesn't say gelatin-free, it says vegan, and then you know it's gelatin-free. And I take that at night time now, and I've done for 2 months, because eventually I would like to come off this, you know, which my gynecologist did say to me, you know, I think you need to be on it until you would have naturally come to the menopause. So she said till 2026, but we'll see about that. I don't think I've ever really tried to come off. I have tried to, when I was taking the tablets, I did try to do one on, one off, one on, one off, but I was getting really bad headaches, and I thought it's got to be that, and I couldn't cope with that either. You know, there were those altitude headaches where when you stood up, you had to get right back down. So, you know, it was knocking me sick. So that wasn't very good. You know, I hope this has been of something to any of you, and I hope that, you know, you're able to share some of your experiences with me. Like I say, if I've touched on anything or queried anything, or you know, if you could even drop me a little line in the comments, or if you don't want to be in the comments, drop me an email, pollyputthepetalon@gmail.com. I just wanted to do this video, and I appreciate your time, and that's if you came. Some of you might not be menopausal, you know, but overall, I can honestly say being on HRT has so far, and I'm going to touch wood on this one, so far has helped me, because I don't wake up in pools of sweat. You know, like some people, like my friend, bless her, she sweats all day, night and day. She's wet through to the skin, which can't be comfortable at all. I do get hot sweats. I don't and they're at night time. They come at around a certain time while I'm still downstairs, and they continue until I get upstairs. And then, you know, for an hour or two after that. But I'm not literally, I'm damp, but I'm not profusely sweating. So it has helped. And when I spoke to the gynecologist, she said, with you telling me that, that tells me that you are on the correct dose. So that's good to know as well. You know, and there is a lady, and I will try and link who she is. She comes on This Morning a lot, and she's fabulous, and every time she's on I listen to her. She's absolutely fabulous, this lady is. I'll try and find her name, and I will, if there's any links that I can link, I will link her down below. If not, I'll just leave her name down below, because she is absolutely fabulous, and I bet she's written some books as well. And just do your research and look into it, and I wish you all the best on your for those of you that, you know, that are menopausal. I really do. I wish you all the best. I mean, life's hard as it is. It's hard enough, isn't it, without this added to it. But I have to say, thank God I don't have those periods anymore. So it's bittersweet, isn't it? Bittersweet. So thank you for your time today, guys. It's been lovely to see you. I'll be back on Tuesday. Have a lovely weekend. Do take care. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.